YouTube, are we live with you? We are live with you, beautiful people of this world. We are here, Courtside Radio, about to go so crazy. Y'all gonna love this one. But y'all always love the episode. So what am I talking about? But man, I hope y'all ready. It's gonna be so much fun, man. So much to talk about from the pro game to the college game, man. We just got some words for y'all, and y'all gonna love to hear them, man. Courtside Radio about to go up. TGN. Make sure y'all tap in. Even if you're listening here, download the Good News Radio app so that you can show love and hear us there as well. You know, when you can't watch us, I know you like looking at me and E, because we some fly brothers, but you know, when you can't watch us, make sure that you tap in on the TGN app. Yeah, the grind is real, man. So much stuff to talk about. We're gonna start off with some tunes, man. Hope y'all ready. It's about to go crazy up in here. We can start some nip, or you got something? Got
No,
something
you
you want
start.
to hear?
No, you go. Nope.
Always can go nip, man. Shout out to the Marathon Clothing Store, man. They just giving out like all these like people winning 15,000. I mean 1,500 uh like dollars like gifts to where they can use it all on they gear, which is very smart, man.
The easiest, most
It's great marketing.
No, great. It's my track too. It's a banger.
Self promotion, baby.
That's how I know. That's how I know. Shout out Nick, man. But we about to get this thing recorded. For those who's doing the double dip, listening here and listening on the app, we thank you so much for your love and your support, man. We can't do it here at Courtside Radio without you. It's gonna be so much fun, man. I hope y'all ready. Hope y'all ready. Z like a hip hop artist.
VYB easy
Well, that's fair.
vibes. No,
Yeah.
I'm just saying put VY.
Oh,
If you really
VY.
trying to make the
Okay, all the way
judgment,
hip hop.
yeah.
All the way hip hop, baby. He used to trip out when I was younger. Like, why they put that on the album? What's that about? Well,
You gotta think about it, man. When did you fall in love with hip hop?
man, the '90s. So it was like, it was crazy. But y'all ready? Let's do this thing. We about to go live. Hope y'all ready for this. Uh, Here we go. Kick go to craziness. Hey man, y'all know what it is, man. Today is Monday, Courtside Monday to be exact, man. I hope you guys are having a good time and had a good weekend. Post Turkey Day vibes. That's what we're giving you. So much to talk about in the sports world. Man, it's just a lot of news just hitting you left and right. It's so wild. Came out of nowhere. We got some moves with coaches in the college ranks that was like, what? Like, I really couldn't believe some of the moves that's happening. But I'm waiting for you, Florida State, which is my favorite college football team. Can y'all do something? Because I don't think we've been good in years since Jimbo Fisher won with Jameis. And after that, we didn't win another one. So, got to figure this out, man. Courtside Radio here. Mike Killer PG holding it down on the ones and twos for my guy, Bruce. People didn't know I'd be on my Kanye, man. So, shout out to Kanye. The old Kanye, to be exact, because that was the guy. But, man, we are here. Mike the PG, the Magic Johnson of the show. Make sure this thing is showtime every time you tune in to Courtside Radio. And I am joined to the left of me by the one and only Mr. E Money himself. What's the deal, Eric?
Yo, what's up, world? Hey, welcome to Courtside Radio, where if we were any closer, we'd be in the game. Yo, we got another hot show lined up for you. Yo, it's a tremendous trio with you tonight. We got my boy Mike Hill, the PG.
Oh,
your
yeah.
boy E Money.
Oh yeah.
And who's that killer out there in Cashville?
Cashville, Tennessee, the one and only.
Yeah.
We call him Mr. Inglewood because that is where he's from. You know, once you drink that water in Inglewood, you forever Inglewood. So shout out to my guy, Mike. What's the deal, Mike?
What up, what up, what up? What's good, world? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Appreciate y'all for tapping in with Courtside. We giving y'all nothing but love, fuego, and that raw, real basketball knowledge, baby. We keep it 100 and give you 10,000 on a come up, baby. That's all it is.
Yes, sir.
Get
Speaking
your money,
of,
stay safe.
hey, speaking of the come up, man, shout out to Las Vegas. I was able to get some ducats from Vegas this weekend. So shout out to them. They were very generous to me and my party, giving away some pape, man. So much love to you. Because usually you come out of Vegas, you be hurt. Like, man. Like,
Man, I shouldn't have went so hard.
Yeah. I knew I should have stopped, man.
Especially on that drive back, man.
Oh,
You
man.
stuck in traffic. And you got nothing but time to think about all the bad decisions.
To be
you made.
depressed, like,
Bro, you
man.
contemplating all the unnecessary money you spent eating, gambling, all that.
Hey, and this drive back was like 7 hours.
Oh, you were stuck in traffic.
Oh, it was, bro. It took 2 hours to get to the state line.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
So it was nuts, man. But you know, I had a good time.
Yeah, catch me on the airplane. I see y'all when y'all hit LAX.
That 45-minute
Man,
flight is love.
Hey, people that left when we left our rooms to get back home, they was already at the crib while we on the road. Like probably took a nap, eating leftovers. I just ate leftovers today. I had to pull back up at my folks. Like, man, let me get a plate, man. I couldn't get none, you know. So, hey, man, it's crazy. But I'm back, and we're here to talk fun. So speaking of Las Vegas, shout out to Las Vegas. They hosted a real big-time game this weekend with Duke Gonzaga, which was just from the jump, just the energy in that building, you just knew, oh, this means something. And you had the two top guys who everybody has as their number 1 overall and number 2 overall picks, and Banchero and Chet over there Shea at Gonzaga. What's your thoughts, E? What do you think? Because I left with some major thoughts about the whole draft process with those two names. But what did you think, E?
So I think, you know, after watching Shea, you know what I'm saying, demolish my Bruins, I was able to, you know, walk away with a newfound appreciation from his game. But that kid from Duke,
Ooh,
nah, bro.
Banchero
is definitely, if I'm on the board at number 1, that's who I'm taking. The dude can do way too much. He's got he's not a little dog, but he's got some dog in him. And he's just real skilled. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't too much that he couldn't do. He could finish at the rim. I like how he plays with pace. I thought, you know, he played some pretty tenacious defense. Overall, Duke played some phenomenal defense.
Agreed.
They limited Gonzaga in the transition game, and that's really their game. If they're able to just get on the floor and run, it opens so much up for that offense. And they're a really, you know, well-oiled machine. They kind of remind me of like a San Antonio light. I'll never go so far to call them Golden State, but they really play just with tremendous pace. And Shea, man, that dude is 7 foot, can handle the pill.
Yeah.
You know, can finish at the rim. He's got a silky smooth jumper. He just got to put some weight on. So, you know, you got to look at it. If I'm a GM, I'm looking at it through the lens of who's going to put butts in the seat versus, you know what I'm saying, whose game is simple. And I told you what the logo told me. You know, if you want to win, you got to have somebody who has a very simple game that can just score efficiently. And I think that's Shea. But Banchero, man, that dude he's selling tickets.
No, yeah, he is a problem, bro, and that's a good problem to have on your
He
team.
did.
Mike, were you able to check out any of that Duke Gonzaga?
Most definitely. That was,
Of course.
they had the PTPers, all eyes on them. Now, Mr. Holmgren, I will give him all credit. See that slim? He doesn't get bullied as much as I thought he would, but he's very skilled. He's tall, he's lanky. Of course, not athletic, but he's very agile for his size. He's going to put on the weight. That's going to be no problem. But Ranchero, bro, he's coming in everything you need. Scoring-wise, he got it. He's big, 6'10", can handle the rock. and he will put you on a poster.
Mm-hmm.
He's a complete basketball player, positionless type.
Mm-hmm.
Put him on the court, you got a chance to win.
Yeah.
Those two organizations, literally, when they went at each other, I said, you know what? This is why you get the young talent going to certain schools. Coach K will always get that, and Duke will always be a top-tier school, top-tier name that's going to be in the collegiate level forever.
But see,
Gonzaga and their recent greatness, it's been just not top-tier classes. They're retaining players that are good.
No, like Timmy.
I was about to say that. I was like, that 24 Timmy, and he's one of the players that if he doesn't make it to the league, we get it.
Yeah.
But as a college player, everything that you do helps your team.
Mm-hmm.
There's tenacity that was going on in Gonzaga Duke game, but it was fearlessness. You didn't see any of the young cats or the veterans have any fear. Nobody who had stage fright. Everybody said, if we're gonna get to the next level, I gotta play the top competition, and that's all they had.
Yeah.
Talent on talent. Who's going iron sharpens iron, baby? Who's gonna get stronger in the end?
And y'all know what trips me out is the fact that Mark Few still doesn't have a national championship. It's like, wow, you know.
I mean, that's on him. It's not because he's had a lack of talent. It just come to tournament time, like they find a way to choke. Gonzaga, man, they're the quintessential front runner, man. They're gonna get you to the tournament.
Yeah.
They're gonna win 20 games a year, but when it comes tourney time, when it hits like that Elite Eight, palms start sweating, dudes start looking weird under the bright lights, man. Like last year when they played Baylor,
they got
like
smoked.
bro. Like there's levels to this.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a team full of dogs, or at least like a handful that's able to go out and get it, it's a problem. Duke, they're playing like that right now. Why? Because it's Coach K's last year.
Oh yeah. So they know, hey, let's make this crazy.
We gotta send them out on top.
Yeah. But you got
I gotta throw this in there before we transition.
Okay.
Also, you have to look at Gonzaga's strength of schedule. Usually in the last few years when they have these 30-win seasons, their strength of schedule is not top heavy. They usually have top competition spread out. There's weeks where they have bums, and there's weeks where they have people that's like, okay, they have one player that might.
They don't have bums because their conference is bum. It's like.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you look at their conference year in, year out, they don't get to play as heavy of a schedule as Duke or the North Carolinas.
I agree.
You have the Kansases, and those the schools that are going to be in the tourney, that you have high hopes of them being on there from their consistency. But you take Gonzaga, they can get these high wins and put up all these offensive stats, but who are they really playing night in, night out?
No, yeah, that's true. And just my take on it, hell of a game. Banchero came out very early that first half. He was going crazy, showing a lot of the outside game, knocking down some big-time shots. And just showing he's more physically gifted. What he reminded me was I looked at like a bigger Cade Cunningham pretty much. He looked like a little bigger Cade Cunningham. And I'm just scared of Holmgren because he could be KD or he can be Porzingis. And, that's why it's the toss-up of what are you going to get?
But see, let's not act like Porzingis came into the league as a bum. Porzingis,
he was nice.
Porzingis got injured.
With a higher verse than Blake Griffin.
Porzingis got injured and now was a wrap.
Yeah, I agree.
And Shea's entire game isn't predicated upon being, a flashy type player. He's very simple. You know what I'm saying? He's going to give you that drive, spin, drop step, up and under, come down, give you a nice little in out, pull up in your face, 15-foot mid range. Like, and if you want to, sag off while he's camped out around a three, he'll knock that down. So
he played much better in the second half. The first half, foul trouble.
Yeah,
I remember
that's the knock on his game right now.
Yeah, because he's so. But Banchero did a move, dribble, banged him in the chest, and you can see on Chase's face, he was like, he was like, oh, and he got finished with the dunk. So if you had the first pick today, you're taking Banchero?
Nah, I'm taking Shea.
Oh, Shea, for real?
Yeah, for real.
Oh, wow. Mike, who about you? Who you taking if you had the first pick today?
I'm taking a 7-footer who put Steph's ankles in the ER one time. But I'm
Wow.
definitely taking Chase. I'm taking Chase. Just off the if you want to take someone who's going to put butts in the seats, who's going to generate revenue for your organization, I'm taking Chase. Ranchero will probably be a better player after the first 2 to 3 years, yes. But coming out who people want to come see off notoriety alone and the skill set he brings, Chase all day.
Mike, that sounds like y'all want a winning franchise. After dude, Ranchero's gonna be coached up by Coach K this whole year. Them open runs in the summer gonna be crazy for the next 8 to 10 years of his career playing against all the Duke guys. And he just naturally has that dog to me, to where plus he was like, oh, this is who y'all got number one. I'm about to show y'all. But man, so far this year, I just seen nothing but great things from him.
Like I said, Shay's his knock, man, is just he takes too many chances on the defensive end, and that puts him in foul trouble. Like I want to say I've only seen him play like 2 games, but I do recall the game where he played against Imani Bates.
Yeah,
he was giving Imani Bates buckets the entire night.
No, I agree.
So I know what he's capable of. Yep. I just I got to see it on the college level. And that's gonna come with time, as he grows, comfortable in the system, and he proves to himself that he's capable of flourishing, at this level. The game will come, the numbers will come. But like Mike said, man, like if I look at his game differently. I wouldn't say he's the player that's gonna put butts in the seat. Again, he's an efficient, simple player. That's something that you build around. That's a cornerstone type player. And I say, probably in about like 2 weeks, like he's going to be averaging about 20, 25.
Yeah, because he finished with 16 points, 7 rebounds, 3 blocks in the game. So far.
And how many minutes did he play?
So far, he's averaging 13, 6.7, and 2 assists. I know the foul trouble got to him. He played 29 minutes, so.
Yeah, and I know against UCLA, he was in foul trouble too.
Yeah, because when people see him, they're like, oh, I'm attacking his chest, attacking his body. Ranchero played 30 minutes. He started fast, so that's what led to the 21, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. It's just going to be facts. Yeah, and it's going to be a very incredible race to see at the end. You expect these 2 teams to be Final Four bound? Because UCLA, I'm thinking like them. UCLA,
Kansas,
Baylor. Even though Kansas got that L versus Dayton,
and quiet as kept, I honestly think this could be a year where SC and UCLA meet in the tourney.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
Like Elite Eight, Final Four.
So what do you Bruin or SC for that game?
Man, if I get in the SC, I got to root for SC.
Oh,
hey, see, it's good to hear that. It's good to hear that from.
No doubt,
man. Bruins, I'm telling y'all, Bruins gonna win. But shout out to my guy Ethan Thompson over there, Anderson, my fault, Ethan Anderson at SC, former Fairfax guy. But yeah, man, the top picks, let y'all know let us know what you guys think of them, of their performances, man. You can always hit us up in the chat. You can call in if you want to hear your voice live on Courtside Radio. We thank you guys for tapping in. So we have to talk about the first picks that a lot of people are calling out. To be those guys, to move on to a guy who was a top draft pick himself, who came back after sitting out 9 games, 42 points, but it was in the L. But man, Embiid talked about what COVID did to him. He thought it was going to take him out. So man, any thoughts on just his return performance and just the fact that he has to come back from? Because I was wondering why he was out so long, and I'm like,
he must not have got vaccinated.
Yeah, probably not. And it hit him hard. But for him to come back with 42 off the bat, I'm like, wow. Yeah.
I mean, that just goes to show how special the dude is. Yeah. Like, Embiid's only knock is availability. It's either injury and now, with COVID. But in terms of just skill, like, I have to say, like, he's a less athletic version of Hakeem.
Dream, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There isn't really too much that he can't do. So I'm not surprised that he put up 42 like off the bat, off rip. Like, it is what it is. Like, it's Joel, the process, and B, like a future Hall of Famer. I'm calling it now.
I'm with you. I've been with that since day one. I just need Ben Simmons to get on track. That's when I'll be 100% right.
Man. But you already know that.
What about your championship standard to make the HOF?
It's different for foreign-born players.
Yeah, foreign-born player. and he's
Well, I'm about to say,
special.
'cause Mike always said you had to have 3 or more.
That's to be in my like greatest. You gotta be to be in my top 5. You gotta be 5 rings and up. LeBron's the only exception.
No, the top 5.
But no, I think Hall of Fame, bro. Vlade Divac. No disrespect to Vlade. If he can be in the Hall of Fame, Embiid's gonna get in the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, easy.
Yeah,
but
it's
you
gonna
got to
be
think.
easy.
You got to think about what Vlade did on the international level and
No,
how he was
true.
able to grow the game in Europe. Like
Yeah,
that's like these are like sympathy nods in my opinion. Like there are some cats. I'm not putting Chris
Webber.
Chris Webber in the Hall of Fame. I'm not putting
What?
T-Mac in the Hall of Fame.
I'm not either.
Like they didn't deserve it.
Oh, you talking about NBA? See,
Yeah.
but you need an
Basketball Hall of
NBA
Fame.
Hall of Fame. A basketball,
There is no NBA Hall of Fame. It's
Yeah, I
just
know.
the basketball Hall of
so
Yeah, just
you gotta have
basketball,
C Webb in there because of his NBA career, and then he's the best player on the Fab Five.
Fame. Come on, man.
T-Mac, straight out of high school, killing it in Florida. You gotta show them guys love. But yeah, Embiid came back with a bang. They gotta win tonight. Before he left, they were like the top seed in the East, and they
Yeah.
just started falling off. But they got
They'll
a
be
big
back.
win tonight. Yeah, they're gonna be back. They have talent there. Tobias had 17 on tonight with 9 rebounds. Embiid 16, 13, 5 assists, 2 blocks, 24 points from Seth Curry. So look for Philly to be on the run. Do y'all believe any of that story that Ben Simmons is running out of money, so that may force him to come back?
Nah, man.
I heard it. I'm not believing it.
Hey, I saw that. I was like,
I mean, if Ben Simmons is already running out of money, then the dude is gonna have some major issues after he retires.
no, fact. But that's
They
when
got
you
problems now.
try to date those Jenner types.
But see, if he was smart, he would have just locked up.
Man.
He would have locked her up.
Shout out Devin Booker.
She a billionaire, bro.
No,
with a
I
B.
know. Hey,
But-
shout out Devin Booker.
That's true.
You
But
got it, Mike.
but before we go, I'm gonna just say that Embiid, I didn't see him having any stall or, he had to get his feet back under him, get back to the game speed, but it didn't take long.
Yeah.
He got the bag and he got into it often. And Joel Embiid is one of those, he's one of those talents that it's not all about what he puts up, but just like Eve, like the best ability you can have is availability. He's
Facts.
usually so when he puts up these numbers, we're not wowed too much by it. We expect it because he's normalized just being good and great and being the best center in the league outside of Jokic winning MVP last year. But of course, we knew how that was going to go. But Embiid definitely changes the game. They need him to be productive and to go deep in the playoffs. Embiid has to be your focal point. No matter who else you have around him, you need to have him as the centerpiece of your offense. And defensively, he always changes the game because he can alter and change many shots, of course, if he doesn't get the block.
No, yeah. And Embiid, he's been a special player. Right when I saw him at Kansas, me being a Kansas Jayhawk fan, I'm like, man, this dude Embiid he's a player, and then he got to the league and he went crazy. You just hate to hear what COVID nearly did to him, but thank God that he's all right. Thank God that he's back, because you want to see, when you watch the NBA, you want to see all of the best players on the floor, and he's for sure one of those guys that's like, even though he's marquee, you love to see the footwork. You love to see, the swag he plays with on the court. And, I always like Philly. I don't know what they're going to do with Ben, but if you can have Embiid there and Ben decides to play and he's actually better, Philly's a team, like one of the teams to beat in the East.
Who's
And
the coach?
Shout out though.
Doc Rivers?
Oh, okay.
No?
So if you count on Doc Rivers to lead you to a title, and you don't have Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen, then good luck, man.
They can come practice. KG can come suit up and practice. All right. What's up, Mike?
Shout out to Cat, actually.
Yes.
He gave not just buckets, but he gave respect and nothing but love to Embiid, even though they did have their little, it wasn't even like, it was just a little situation,
Yeah.
a little bit of straightening that had to happen. But Cat said after Embiid made it through the COVID that he has experienced closely himself and losing his mother, Karl Anthony Towns, that is, he said, I'm glad you made it through it. And you must know that for someone that you don't like, for something that you have to see, for someone you have to work with the majority of the year,
Yeah.
give utmost respect and let you know they're men before anything, before a hooper. He said, you know what? Your life was at stake. You made it through. I'm blessed to see that, and let's go back at it, baby.
No, yeah. So shout out to Cat showing love, man. You know he had to, pay homage, man, to one of his. It's a fraternity, so these guys are gonna show love to one another, and it's good to see that they don't let on court beef turn into anything more, man. So
And real quick,
yep,
as somebody who's had the Rona, bro, like I thought not only was I getting ready to check out, but after I recovered, I was like, yo, it's not a person on this planet that I will wish that on.
Man, facts. I had it twice.
That mess is no joke. I'm coughing up blood the whole nine.
Man.
Like, nah, bro.
Yeah, and that's deep.
I didn't know.
Yeah, that's deep, man. But Embiid is back performing as always, man. Courtside Radio, the Treacherous Three, Mike Kelly, PG, E Money, Eric is in the building, and then of course our guy Mike all the way in Cashville, Tennessee, man. So Michael Porter Jr., man, gets paid, and we talked about availability with Embiid, but there's gonna be no Michael Porter Jr. the rest of the year. Another back injury. What's our thoughts on that, fellas?
Man, this is going to be a reoccurring theme. If I'm the Nuggets, I'm looking for a way to come up off that contract. I'm giving him some sort of injury settlement. I'm buying him out, whatever. But a back issue, that does not go away. Once you start having back issues, it only gets progressively worse. And it's going to come a point in time where they're going to have to like give him like spinal surgery or replace a hip or whatever is going on, in his back. It's only going to get worse. And if, Michael Porter Jr. is smart, man, and he's thinking anytime, like if he's looking long term and thinking like his life, he's going to have to hang him up pretty soon. And that's a travesty because the dude was like super talented. But he just got a bad break, man.
Yeah, and he's I like to see his game. Anytime you remind me of like a players of me growing up, and he can give you a little T-Mac from time to time. Of course, you got to tighten his handle, but he was just having a tough year, and it probably was because of his back. And to see that he's out for the season, like, damn, the Nuggets just have no luck.
None.
Like last year when Porter was playing really well, Murray goes down. It's in a wide open West where the Lakers weren't, the powerhouse. So it could have been them in the finals, and maybe winning the championship. And now Murray's going to return. We don't know what he's going to look like, but you don't have Michael Porter Jr. Mike, what's your thoughts on MPJ being out for the year with the back injury? Mike, can you hear me? Oh no.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
There we go. Yes, there we go. Yeah.
I'm gonna say, wait, what happened? There we go.
Yeah, so MPJ out for the year.
Yeah, I was saying blessings to him and his family and a speedy recovery, but it's very reminiscent of Tracy McGrady and the back issues he had for a duration of a long period of his career. And when you have back issues, it affects your mobility. So when you're not mobile, you can't be agile to get to your spots, you have your quick first step that he has for a 6'10" player, and to get around the court, be efficient, be someone that I can use. He's going to have to change his game, and it's too young for that. So as he was saying, he might have to call it a wrap, hang him up, because if you can't move on the court, be it offensive, like if you're a defensive liability, we kind of don't want you if you can't even be an offensive weapon. So it's kind of hard on his aspect. I mean, it's kind of hard on his plate right now. But MPJ, man, you're gonna find a way to make it happen and, try to salvage what you have left. But, hey, come back stronger if you can. And you are a talent that needs to be shown. And D Rose came back from injury, so come on now, you already know.
But think about it, Mike. Think about it, Mike. Larry Bird was the MVP of the league. And he started having back issues, and he was never the same.
He never was. He couldn't get to his spots and get off his shot.
But you don't think just modern times, just the surgeries, the work that they can do for these players, you don't think that can help them out?
When you start having when you have chronic knee issues and you have chronic back issues, there is really nothing you could do.
Okay, I see that. So, man, prayers out to Michael Porter Jr. Hope that everything can be okay. He can come back and play well, but only time will tell. But we got some former star players, all-star players, guys who were leaders of teams, taking them on playoff runs or making it to the playoffs, who are now out of their team's rotations. And it's in New York.
Mm-hmm.
You have Kemba Walker, who's out of the rotation. Tibbs came out and said, yeah, we just can't do it. After he had an 18-point game, they went in, they gave Alec Burks a start, and Kemba didn't touch the floor, and they got a nice win over Atlanta 99-90. And then you have the Nets with Blake Griffin, who is out of the rotation over there. Do we see any of these players rejoining the rotations anytime soon, or will they be on the move? What's your thoughts, E?
Yeah, I think Kemba will be on the move. He'll probably, be playing for
That's crazy, man.
He'll be playing for the Shanghai Sharks.
He the new Marbury?
Man, he the new Marbury.
Man.
And it's crazy because Kemba is so talented. He's so talented, but he's got two knocks against him. A, his height, and B, he doesn't play any type of defense. And when you look at his track record, there's a reason why, MJ was reluctant to give him a big contract.
Facts.
And so, as much as he was chided and derided for not paying Kemba goes to Boston and has the same issues that he's having in New York. You can't win with him. He's a great individual player. He's going to go down as one of college's, greatest players, but when you're talking about building a franchise or winning a championship in the league, Kemba is not part of that championship makeup, that championship DNA. And I want to see him, continue to play. I have no malice towards him, but I just don't see a team in the league where he'll be able to thrive. Now, when it comes to
who he'll be good next to though, I think if he played with Ben Simmons, because his job would just be score and let Ben be the point guard.
But he still got to play defense.
Yeah, you just got to build. Steph isn't the greatest defender, but
you got Draymond
behind him. Yeah,
Ben is not going to be there long term.
No, yeah, I agree. So you just have to try to build the right team around him, because, man, it's like Kemba Walker can't be a scorer. He's averaging 11.7 points a game, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. It just wasn't working at all for the Knicks, period. Julius isn't playing like how he was last year.
Told you.
RJ isn't playing like he was last year. He didn't take that step forward. But, you got to play D-Rose. Fournier, you got to play. You're giving Alec Burks a chance. Emmanuel Quickly, you have to play. Shout out to Obi Toppin, who's looking much better this year. But, man, it's just crazy. Who are we more surprised that they're not in the rotation at this point, Mike? Are we more surprised that Blake is falling out of the rotation or Kemba Walker?
I'm feeling it's Kemba, but he's playing himself out of it, honestly. He can put up games to where, I put up numbers, but he's not the focal point of them winning.
Yeah.
So Blake right now, we understand on his aspect that it's they just have bodies in there over there at Brooklyn. They're just trying to get a lineup and trying to at least manage the minutes for James and KD, because they're going to play heavy loads every game anyway.
Yep.
So we got to make the minutes we do have. And then with these other lineups, you're going to have to be in there sporadically. But Kemba, he's the one that's surprising the most, because he's literally I can't understand how someone who has had a run in the college level, who you saw could have the makings of a not even a go-to, but a top-tier point guard, but he never transitioned over to past the all-star. All-star is popularity votes for me, honestly. It's not always the team. It's popularity, what you do, how many highlights you can put up. But Kemba, he's not going to be in the league much longer.
But
it's surprising me because he got paid all this money to not produce.
Yeah, he gonna be in the CBA.
You gotta look at it like this
too, playing with
Mike.
Jeremy Lin or Lance Stephenson.
You gotta look at it like this too, Mike. Outside, Kemba's the type of player where he's ball dominant.
Yeah.
If Kemba doesn't have the ball, what value does he add? He's not a great catch and shoot dude. He needs to high key
move well with the ball.
Right. He high key needs to penetrate. He needs to high key penetrate to create space for himself.
True.
Right. And with how the league is playing now, he just doesn't fit, right? Kemba would have been a great player in the late 80s, early 90s, and I would even venture to say early 2000s. Kemba would have been a dynamic player. But when you look at his PER,
Eric Snow.
Nah,
he would have been better than Eric
It'd been
Snow.
like AI. You just needed defensive team built around him to really win in the 2000s.
Right. And when you look at his PER, you know what I'm saying, his player efficiency rating at 15.72, he's ranked 120th in the league. That means there are 119 other players, people that we don't even know who are on the NBA roster,
Man.
who are more effective while on the court. And you can't pay somebody that much money and them not be able to produce in the manner in which you do. Like, because
That's what I said.
Because the game is so analytical, like Kemba just gonna have to redefine his game. He's gonna have to learn how to catch and shoot.
No, yeah, and they're gonna pick you
Or
apart
become a
more
role
than
player.
anything.
That's what he's gonna have to. He's gonna have to eventually take that.
He's already
into
that.
consideration. I know, but I'm saying he's gonna have to take his role and just be that.
Yeah, but it's
Not
just
try to become a starter again because you played yourself out of that position already.
fact.
And now the squad you're with, come on now, the coaches said, yeah. It's like, this ain't gonna be that. It's not gonna be that. We love to have him in New York, be home. We get that crowd every game. But we're gonna have to get that crowd like a Caruso off the bench.
But-
well, not now, but when Caruso's with the Lakers.
Yeah,
Like, you're gonna have to take a role off the bench and, thrive in that. After that, sit back down and let's win as a team. We need your spurts of scoring, but we don't need your consistency and us not winning with your level of play.
it just trips me out because Kemba Walker's still averaging double figures, but just
Yeah.
the fall off of Blake Griffin. You can that can be the name of the documentary. The man is averaging 5 points a game. Just to see that fast fall off from what he was with the Clippers, he went to the Pistons where he still had some game, to now he's just like Aldridge missed
Averaging
most of the
18
year, and
Yeah,
he just took his job and playing well.
And this is the reason why I said I'm gonna take somebody who has a very boring and simple game over somebody that's more dynamic athletically. When you look at LeBron, he's the only albatross that I could think of being able to sustain this level of play for this long. You already starting to see it with Russ. With super athletic players, they a lot of times forego developing the rest of their game because they're so athletic. They can
Agreed.
jump higher, they can blow, they can run faster, and they're a lot stronger than a lot of the people that they play with. But when you look at like the likes of a Kevin Durant, who's not, all the way athletic, who's just tall and very skilled, his game has more sustainability long term. Blake Griffin, once he start having a series of injuries, he got progressively worse and worse and worse. Now, to his credit, he did try to develop outside shot,
Perimeter game.
in order for him to be able to have some longevity in the league. But he was never that player that everyone anticipated or thought he would be.
Yeah, and it just injuries suck, man. But just to see two guys like this, franchise guys at one point, you know what I'm saying? Like the face of the Clippers, the face of the Hornets, to now be on the bench.
But Kemba still has a shot of sticking with a team.
Yeah,
if he gets with like a Jamal crossover or Lemon Pepper Lou, and like just talk to them about the mentality of coming off the bench, being the sixth man.
Yeah.
I think if Kemba committed to being the sixth man and was like, okay, I'm gonna own this role, then Kemba, you'll see a revitalization of his game.
And he got somebody on his roster he can talk to. Go talk to Derrick Rose. Say, how did you go from MVP to be a guy that comes off the bench on this New York team, and he's a big part of the team and play well? I think he can learn a lot from that because at this moment in his career, it's hard to start Kemba Walker next to anybody. So if he just comes in and says, your job, we don't care about your defense, play just enough. We just want you to come and get buckets. I think he can still be that guy to a good level, man. But star players eventually do fall off, man. It's something that we have to deal with. But you know who don't fall off? Us here at Courtside Radio, man, here in the TGN Sports studio here in Los Angeles, California, doing our thing, man. Mike Hill, the PG, my guy E Money, E Lamb is right next to me. Of course, our guy Mike all the way in Nashville, Tennessee. We thank you so much for tuning in to Courtside Radio. We love you guys, and we got more heat for you, man. So we got to tap into the culture. Some crazy news came out of nowhere with the passing of Virgil, man. It was just so shocked. I couldn't believe it. because we're in a day and time today that we're so used to knowing everything that when somebody like Virgil or when Chadwick Boseman passes away, and we're like, whoa, like we had no idea. It's very shocking, man. And Virgil, a guy that worked with Louis Vuitton, he founded Off-White, which is an incredible brand within itself. He worked for LVMH. Any words, E, on the loss of Virgil? I know it just came out of nowhere. So it's so shocking. Me waking up in Vegas, like, what? Like, how?
Man, I will say the fashion industry lost a huge icon. I think what Virgil was able to do in 41 years?
41 years.
41 years on this planet. I think is super awe-inspiring and inspirational to young Black kids. Like Virgil didn't succumb to any pressure and trying to like change who he was. He was proud of being African. He was proud to be Black, and he was unapologetic. And he carved out a niche within the fashion industry, doing something that nobody else was doing. And so when you look at what was lost, man, like shout out to his family, like prayers to his family. And like I was on Twitter just checking a whole bunch of stuff, and Cass was like, oh, it came out of nowhere. It's like, yo, everybody don't put everything on the ground.
Facts.
Everything don't tweet everybody out. So,
yeah,
like looking at Chad and looking at Virgil, I think if like I got cancer, I wouldn't I wouldn't tell nobody.
I don't know you. Why y'all know?
I'm not gonna tell the world for what. You know what I'm saying? So I could respect his approach to fighting cancer. From what I read, he was dealing with it for a few years. You know what I'm saying? So this isn't something that just sprung out of yesterday. But yeah, man, just prayers out to his family, man. And this is why we say consistently, man, like you gotta value every single day. Like you gotta chase what you're passionate about. Facts. I know too many people who are working jobs that they really hate and they rather be doing something different. Like, man, you gotta chase what you're passionate about because you never know when your time is gonna get called.
Facts.
So just surround yourself with people of like minds who, aspire to do the same things that you want to do, man, and just love those that love you.
Yeah, and a shout out to J. Cole. He has a part of a verse where he says, you don't want to leave here in a regret-filled coffin. And I think a lot of people do because they don't chase their passions, their dreams, and things like that. Virgil chased his passion, chased his dream. So many dope album covers he helped put together.
Shout out to Lupe.
Yeah, facts. And I didn't even know some of the stuff like he did Watch the Throne, some of the Kanye albums. Like you have no idea who's making this stuff because sometimes it's just a cover to you, but it's people putting in some work, and he did exactly that. And then he got some of my favorite pair of shoes, the Off-White ones, the red and black, like the the original. Like, so I think they're like some of the first pair of Off-Whites where I was like, whoa, I was so pissed I didn't get them. And now they like $5. So I'm like, I'm not about to pay no $5 for no shoes. Are you out of your mind? But it's just let you know like what type of stuff he was putting out there. Mike, what's your thoughts on the loss of Virgil?
It was another one where we had to see a silent battle from another strong warrior. Mm-hmm. And, everyone, of course, doesn't broadcast their battles, their illnesses and things of that nature because, what really will that help, honestly? It's you get the support of the loved ones and the ones around you, and that's pretty much what you do. And it was a big loss. A cat from Chicago, very proud. And it was one of his, not even a dream, but it was one of the, when you see the full circle come around, they mentioned how when Michael Jordan asked that he needed a pair of ones signed by Virgil, he said it hit him differently being from Chi-Town because it was one of those things that's like, man, you can't make this up. You can't script this. My favorite player growing up watching and all this, and he wants something from me, an icon.
Facts.
And that's what he didn't understand. Not even he didn't understand, but the level of icon that he was to us. His latest Louis Vuitton collab is coming out. Yep. So they're going to release certain visuals coming out early December. So it's like you take a creative genius and you put them on a platform with designer and fashion majors then you can't lose.
Yeah.
Because he's going to give you the raw, real culture that certain companies are lacking. And I'm not going to sit here and act like that's very minute. That's not a minuscule accomplishment. He was a giant in the fashion game. Prayers, shouts out, and love to his family, and that he will have a mark left on the world forever, especially the fashion world and hip hop and so many things that he touched that people didn't even know that he had vast ventures like that.
Yeah.
So love to Virgil, and you did your thing, man. God said you fulfilled a purpose. He brought you home.
Yeah, man.
Hey, do y'all think Virgil gonna have his casket just say casket?
Hey, you know he gonna have it's gonna be off-white something.
Or his tombstone just say tombstone?
Tombstone probably.
Shout out
I wouldn't be
She's
surprised.
tapping in live right now.
I wouldn't be
She got the
surprised.
hat, too.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did, like, in making these preparations for his passing, if he like went out like, look, I'm still that dude.
Yeah, I'm still about to do something artistic
That's
that
what
nobody
he
ever
is,
did.
was, and always will be.
Yeah, facts, man. So rest in peace, Virgil, man. Much love to his work. Now the value of his work goes up even more.
Ridiculous.
You know
I have a pair of off-white Prestos.
Ooh, I know.
That
Them
I
was ones that I wanted to get.
that
and
I
I'm
gotta
like,
clean
man.
up. I gotta clean up because I know the resale about to be stupid.
No, yeah, and it's
All off-white about to go up like a mug. You already know.
man, facts. So if you holding on to some off-white right now, make sure you hold tight. And it's gonna be crazy for your pockets, man. If you want to do that, or it's gonna be memorabilia
Right.
that you can have forever because you know they don't remake any of that stuff.
Right.
So rest in peace, Virgil, man. Shout out to the great work that you had, man. But we don't want to keep it on a somber note. We want to celebrate life as well. So first of all, we got to celebrate the life of Vince Scully, who celebrated his 94th birthday today.
Okay.
Shout out to the legend.
It's time
head
for
claps for that,
Dodger baseball.
Facts. Like me being an Angel fan, I still had that respect for the Dodgers because it's like I gotta go listen to Vin.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
It's crazy. There were two sports broadcasters, man, that I grew up turning on the radio and turning down the volume on the TV. Chick Hearn and Vin Scully, man.
Yeah, Chick for
like
sure.
It's nothing like listening to a Dodger game in real time, listening to Vin Scully just talk. Pops used to take a little radio to Dodger Stadium and you know what I'm saying, just like cut that on just so we could hear Vin like being in the stadium, man. So, you know, and you know what? Vin got to see the Dodgers win another championship, bro.
Yeah, that's hard. Yeah.
So,
Hey,
you know,
did y'all ever have a pop? Oh, did y'all have an old head that used to have the portable TVs, the gray with the little screens back in the day?
Oh yeah, my great granny had that.
Hey, shout out Pops. I know you listening. I remember you had that pulling up the Lakers and the Dodger games back in the day.
And my great granny hit me like that. She on the main TV, she was playing gospel music on that little tube. That's where I can watch the game. So that's why I would listen to Chick and watch, and then listen to Vince Scully and seeing them all the way back to where it was Hideki Nomo and Mike Piazza, Eric Karros and those guys. So man, happy birthday. 94 years, man. He was able to see a championship, man. Much love. Another one. Much love to that man, Vince Scully, who I was able to meet as an intern at KTLA.
Oh, that's what's up.
And working there years ago, like 2010 to 2012. And was like, oh, that's Vince Scully, Man,
so, I would have asked him for his number. Like, man, I'm trying to learn everything I can.
Man, I wish I could have got to him. I was just able to say, hey, what's up? How you doing, sir? And had to keep it pushing. So 94 years. And then I got to shout out somebody else who's celebrating the birthday today. A legend, especially to me, man. I think a lot of people sleep on this man, but they need to give him his kudos. And it's the one and only Hurricane Game, man.
Jason?
Jason Taylor.
Dang.
Celebrating his birthday. Celebrating the birthday today. What was the show he was on? Change of Hearts. Shout out to him.
Why you bring that up?
No, just it's a part of his story. But gave us some. He carried the West for a cool minute in the hip hop game.
Carried the West?
Yeah, because we had nobody else.
I can't say carried.
Hey,
he had a resurgence.
Bro, it was nobody else in the West when he was dropping this.
Had us, bro. Michael, I got you on that.
Yeah,
you right.
Yeah, it was nobody. I know they were trying to make Bishop Lamont that guy with Dre, but it didn't happen. You had G Malone, but he
Remember,
didn't.
this is before
You know,
K
shout
Dot
to the
really start popping.
yeah, shout to the
Kendrick.
yeah, and Game will put a lot of dudes on. You know, Nip, you know, Kendrick and them taking them on tour and stuff like that. So Game just did a lot of great things for the coast when it comes to hip hop. And once Kendrick and those guys came, it was
Hipping
easy.
on Floss and brought a lot of Bloods and Crips together.
Yeah, man, facts. Like you know,
Come on now.
YG can be who he is because of Game. So shout out to Game. Some great work out there. I'd love to see him on the verses, because I think a lot of people sleep on his catalog.
It'd only be him and 50. You know, that would be the only matchup that they would actually allow.
Fifth got a lot, but Game got a lot, bro. Fifth got
50
2 albums. Game got more.
50 is going to troll the entire time.
No, yeah, because 50 might play these songs, so Game can't play.
Yeah.
Which
he's playing
crazy.
Hater or Love It first.
No, yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, man, Game is one of those guys I think a lot of people sleep on when it comes to his career, because who can really just outspit him? Like, I'm about to go in the booth and
I was about to say,
out-rap
Michael, during the verses, he can give a freestyle. Not like Jadakiss, but he gonna give a Game type freestyle.
He can play that
All
300 bars if 50 want to say something. I'm gonna take your sound goodie. So hey, man, happy birthday, shout out, Game. If people ain't gonna big you up, bro, I'm gonna big you up, man, because you one of the dopest to do it for the coast, representing Compton, man. So shout out to Hurricane Game. Happy birthday, him and Vince Scully celebrating the continuation of those guys' lives, man. But that's the culture news. Rest in peace, Virgil, again. Shout to the birthday boys celebrating on today. Mike, you ready for your top 5, man?
Oh, you know it.
Yes, sir. So, Mike, take it away. Mike's top 5, man. I hope y'all ready. Top plays, baby.
It's Mike's top 5 plays. Courtside Radio Mondays. You already know how we coming to. We starting off number 5. We got the young cat out of high school, Kaiser Little. I'm talking about he's in high school, but he got next level bounce, and recruiters need to take notice. He took off, cleared them. I'm talking about cleared an entire child. No nothing. No hand, no nada. Hang out all day. Young cat doing his thing, and you need to get your love. They giving them love now, and I'm loving it. So we going number 4. We got Florida running backs are built different. Let me tell you something. All effort, heart, and power of weights forced his way to the touchdown. I'm talking about he ain't need a helmet. Helmet got knocked off. 4 or 5 yards later, taking 3 defenders into the end zone. Florida, they doing something different and something in the water over there. All them boys, they living life on a different level. That's Number real. 3, we got one of the best buckets that actually wasn't. We have the Ant-Man, Mr. Edwards.
Ooh, that's baby Jordan.
Have him, hey, with a first 48, catching a body as usual. The victim this time, Gabe Vincent. R.I.P. R.I.P. He thought he had one. But, hey, they said it was charged. I thought it was good. I thought he had one. But they said otherwise. We have number 2. We have Caruso himself getting up to put the shoe champ. I'm talking about the sneaker king, PJ Tucker, on a poster. Took off, and I'm talking about, you know what, Bam Adebayo, you are the reason that Caruso stock just rose just now. Now I'm talking about Caruso put him on a poster, and he said, hey, I'm doing this as usual. Shrug it off. Nothing out the normal. I catch bodies all day. First 48 gang. Number 1, we have one of the plays that let me know, since we're going to transition to courtside from the sidelines, we got the other Mr. Edwards, one of the best tight ends, showing why he's top tier in NFL right now. With the one-hand snag, F the flag, I am him. Mr. Edwards, one hand, I don't care about no holding. You can get that. All I need is one.
Mark Andrews, right?
Yes, sir. Hey, one of the top tight ends in the league. I don't know how people keep leaving them open. Hey, Baltimore is coming.
Keep leaving him open because he on my fantasy team.
Rack them up.
Right, rack them things up, man. But that's Mike's top plays, man. Hopefully you guys tap in every Monday to get Mike's top plays. Check out our Instagram, Courtside Radio. Courtside Radio, spelled just like how it should be, where you can see these top plays, and you're going to be like, Mike was 100% right, because that Anthony Edwards, dunk was incredible. Like crazy dunk. I don't get why guys try to take charges against athletic guys like that. Like
I'm not.
You
I'm
just
not
got to
gonna do it.
foul. Like you take a foul, or you just got to give them 2 points. And hey, you better than me on this play. But for guys to try to take charges, you just embarrass yourself. Or you get guys like Giannis, Bron, those dudes just jump over Russ. They just jump
Eric
over
Jones.
you, yeah. And you just become a poster. So you guys need to learn better out there, basketball players. Don't take charges against high flyers because you will become a dead body, like my guy Mike said. So that's the top plays. So we got to take you to the sideline, courtside from the sidelines, where we're going to talk this Week 12 football. We got Monday Night Football going on. The Washington football team is up 17-9 against the Seattle Seahawks. What is wrong with Seattle, man? What is wrong with those guys?
I mean, Russ got a major contract. They can't give him no O-line. They don't have no defense.
They can't run the ball.
They can't run the ball. I mean,
really ever had an O-line.
I mean, when he first got there, when he was on his
When
rookie deal,
Marshawn Lynch left, their line left with.
that's because they paid Russ.
Yeah, they had to make a decision.
So look, Seattle is at a watershed moment to where they got to decide either we keeping Russ or we keeping Pete. And
Facts.
to be perfectly honest, I think Russ is like, I'm out of here regardless of what y'all do. And I don't see them retaining Pete.
Send them to New York. Everything went downhill since they should have hand off the ball to that guy from Oakland.
You should have gave it to
Oh,
Marshall.
man, they would have a championship. But yeah, man, it just looks real tough, and you're surprised to see it because at the beginning of the year, I'm like, man, the entire division about to make it to the playoffs.
No, we were all saying
said
that.
it.
We all
All
said that.
said it.
But
but-
now it's looking tough.
I mean, it's really a 3-team division. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not trying to.
Teams.
I'm not even trying to hate.
He gon-
I'm not even trying to hate. But the Rams are looking poo cheese.
Man.
Since and it's
Rams-
crazy because Robert Woods really is the linchpin of that offense.
No, I told everybody because you can play
Cooper
him
Kupp
everywhere.
overproduced early, but you have to look at it as the Rams have lost 3 straight, which is the tied for the longest in the Sean McVay era. So now that you look at a squad that we getting all the names and all this, but they're still, we already knew we had to work them in. There's going to be weeks of camaraderie that has to be built. And you take a top tier team that tries to get a player who doesn't, we haven't really beat teams that are over 500. I saw that. And now that I was like, we're 6-0 against teams that are 500 and under. And we have only beat one team that has been over 500.
Hey, Mike, and I love that you brought that up, the 500 aspect of it. So
I'm realistic, you know this.
your quarterback, what's the name of that quarterback, E?
Stat Pafford.
Stat Pafford. So let me give you his record against teams with a winning record for his career. 9-70.
Oh, I love it.
And
I love
I
it.
love it too. I love it too because now you get to see the change of the dial.
Man.
No, you get to understand. Like now, this is the second week with having Odell and Von Miller. They both haven't been able to really be to be factors in a victory.
Odell got a
Because we haven't
tub.
won. Yes, he got
TD.
that. I said in a victory. You got to listen,
Okay.
bro.
Okay.
Because we have not won with the talent that we have got, the Hall of Fame future talent. But it's like now you
Ooh.
have to get these weeks for them. Go ahead, shake your head.
But
Von Miller's going to the HOA.
you can say all of those names. It comes down to Matt Stafford, who is 9-70 against winning teams. You're going to play more winning teams. You're going to have to see the Niners again, who smacked you. You're going to have
5
to see
straight
the
times.
Cardinals again, who smacked you.
That is 5 straight times.
They
The
got
Niners haven't
some.
really done
They got some
that
other. I gotta check their schedule.
No, the Niners have beat the Rams 5 straight times.
As I said, I understand. I said, but what have they done with that recently is what I said.
They made it to the Super
We
Bowl.
we just made it to the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
I understand. Well, hey, how did that enter y'all?
Oh, I apologize. Did the Rams score a touchdown in the Super Bowl they made it to?
No, they
No?
didn't. They
Okay.
did not.
All right, cool.
Hey,
So we don't have anything to talk about.
Hey, so
But back to what we were saying, the Rams, when we change this, we have to get Sean McVay's offense to be let loose, and we have to have Bradford not be the gunslinger.
Pat
be the
Stafford.
decision maker.
Listen,
Whatever you
I
want
was
to
told
say.
I was told I was a madman when I said I was glad we didn't trade for him. I was a madman when I said the Rams were not going to win a division. I was a madman when I said that the 49ers was
We're
still
number
going
two in
to
the division though.
Huh?
I don't know how that might end.
Hey, but let me give you the rundown for the Rams. They got their at home versus Jacksonville should be a winner.
That should be
at
a winner.
Cardinals,
That's a
they
L.
got Seattle, so it's a division game
Those-
versus
Kyler Murray
Russ.
still won't be back. That's a dub for the Rams. Go ahead.
Nah, Kyler should be back then. Then you have
He's not going to be top tier, but go ahead.
at Vikings, at Ravens, at Niners. They could lose 3 straight games.
I love it. And we
So-
the last game before the playoffs start.
Yeah, so that might be
We
wild
might
card
only
game.
lose to the Ravens, realistically, going out.
What?
We might only lose to the Ravens.
Bro, Cardinals.
Listen,
are gonna
y'all
be
not
tough.
finna run a table and y'all not beating us.
No, just listen. That's what I'm saying. We might only lose to the Ravens. Like,
Oh,
literally,
my
the rest
God.
of our schedule, if you look at it. The Niners, what do you really have to look forward to besides coming in third, most likely?
The playoffs.
What are you talking about? We number 6 right now in the NFC.
Yeah.
We right behind y'all. Y'all lose another
I'm about
game.
to say, who's number 5?
Listen.
So when you guys fall off in the next
Y'all
season,
lose
that's
another
fine.
game. Y'all lose another game. Y'all like in 6th, 7th place because we got the
Yeah, we're
tiebreaker.
gonna lose to Baltimore.
You're not beating the 49ers, bro. I've been hearing this for 3 straight years. Y'all can't beat us. Y'all can't.
Yeah, so right now, he's right. You have Cardinals, Packers, Tampa Bay at 3, Dallas at 4, Rams at 5, Niners at 6. So playoff start today, you have a crazy opener with Tampa Bay versus the Niners and then Dallas Rams, which will be crazy. But yeah, the Rams got to put it together. They're on a 3-game losing streak. So we got to see what's going on with them. But before we go fully into the NFL, we have to talk about the big news coming out of college. Lincoln Riley is now the coach of the USC Trojans, leaving Oklahoma behind. I'm a Trojan fan too, so hands claps for Lincoln Riley. Let's see if he can come get this thing together here. And then Brian Kelly surprising everyone and leaving Notre Dame to go to LSU. Which move do you like best, E? And Mike, which move do you like best?
Mike, you take it first.
You got it, Mike.
I'd take Brian Kelly to LSU.
Okay.
You take the talent that they've already built, even though they've had upsets this year. Like they've upset teams that people thought they could make it to the CPF. They thought they could make it to the playoff.
Yeah.
So now that you take offensive minded coach who already has talent, who's only going to get more cream of the crop players, and who's going to retain star players, depending on who all goes to the league, and then who still wants to get coached up to be league ready to be, have their stock rise in the next season. Brian Kelly's about to bring in a tremendous offense. That's what he does.
Yeah.
He brings that great offense, and LSU speed and the talent that they can get and the talent that they already have. That's gonna be scary over there, and they're gonna get back in the rankings of the SEC. And I see it not gonna take too long at all.
Okay. I like the Lincoln Riley move. I think coming to LA, players can get paid now. So if you winning in LA, it's gonna be crazy. He's gonna bring a firepower, high power offense that's gonna be great. And it's that time for USC. He left Oklahoma, who's going to the SEC. I think it's the perfect move for him and SC. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see if SC can get another runoff. And he might bring a quarterback with him from Oklahoma, but we'll see.
Spencer Rattler already entered the transfer portal.
Yep.
There's a kid, a 5-star quarterback that I want to say was committed to Oklahoma. He just decommitted. Listen, I am a Bruin through and through, right? That's where I went, blah, 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 blah. Lincoln Riley coming to USC has reverberated and sent shockwaves throughout all of college football.
Man, facts.
48 hours ago, 48 hours ago, everybody was still like, okay, well, who's USC going to get? They're thinking it's going to be the Cincinnati coach or the Iowa coach. Nobody thought it was going to be Lincoln Riley. Him coming to LA, and I kept saying this, it's really putting pressure on UCLA. UCLA is either going to commit to being a basketball school, or it's going to have to up its ante and try to attract a Pete Carroll,
Urban Meyer, or somebody
Urban
like
Meyer
that.
or something. Because Chip Kelly, this is his first winning season. in the 4 years that he's been there, and he still hasn't beaten a team that's over 500.
Yep.
But this Lincoln Riley move, like, yo, it compelled LSU to go get Brian Kelly.
Facts. That's real.
And Brian Kelly's no slouch. You know what I'm saying? He like burst onto the national scene at Cincinnati. You know, he parlayed that to get the Notre Dame job. I thought he was going to stay at Notre Dame. Like, that's a career gig.
That surprised me because I'm just like, what? Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, they look really good this year.
They made it to a college.
Yeah, you're your own conference pretty
Right.
much, you know. And for him to leave, it just shows you like people are like, damn,
I got to do something. And LSU, part of me feels like Lincoln Riley didn't want no smoke with the SEC.
Yeah, nah.
He wasn't a fan of Oklahoma going there because I literally just said this. When you look at the SEC and the landscape, all those schools, you know what I'm saying, recruit in the South.
Yeah,
The difference is being able to recruit out
these
west.
facts
Nick Saban, he can pull a 5-star
from
from
LA.
New Jersey or from
Yeah.
LA or from Florida.
Mhm.
Kirby Smart can do the same thing. Now you putting Brian Kelly out there,
Yeah,
and you got Texas and Oklahoma State going to the SEC in like what 2 years? Like Lincoln Riley was like, yo, the path to the college football, college playoff, whatever it is, the CFP.
College football playoff.
Yeah, when you look at the path to getting the title, it's 10 times more arduous going through the SEC than coming out to the Pac-12, because all you got to do is compete with
Oregon.
Washington and Oregon.
Yeah.
That's it. Everybody else, if you catch them on a good night, yo,
Yeah,
you can have
beat
some
Utah,
problems.
you can beat UCLA. So it's just a great look, man. So I can't wait to see what's to come next from this college football season. But just to wrap it up, to talk a little more of Week 12 that we had. Shout out to the Thanksgiving games. You had the Bears win on the last-second field goal. The Raiders-Cowboys game, what a game, going into overtime with the Raiders taking that one, and then Buffalo smacking the Saints. The Bengals got a big home win versus the Steelers, who look washed. What a game. Another great game. Buccaneers-Colts that I was able to check out there in Vegas. The Dolphins get a big win. The Titans just look like a shell of themselves
Poochie.
without King Henry over there. And the Patriots, are they as great as their record shows?
No.
I guess we're going to find out because they got Buffalo Monday night.
Wasn't
This
that a great show for them?
The NFL is wide open. There is
Yeah.
no clear-cut team where it's like, yo, this is the best team in the league.
Only one team that maybe have you like, they might be legit.
Who?
Green Bay.
No,
Because they lost with
we
two.
almost beat Green Bay.
Bro, y'all a good team. It's not like y'all scrubs.
Like I said, there is no clear-cut team
Okay.
that's head and shoulders above the rest. Kansas City started off, a little bit rocky. We all
here now.
predicted that they would be on top of the AFC West. The Rams, they went all in, hedged their bet, and trying to win the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
They faltering now. Who else?
But you got
Buffalo looks strong.
Arizona.
They starting to falter. So
no,
it's
yeah,
like,
because they just got this big win. But Saints are a shell of themselves. The Ravens got a weird Sunday night victory.
that was a terrible game.
Terrible game. I love Lamar Jackson. I just don't think his style of play can win without super great talent around him. Like, he needs a great running game to help him win and a good defense.
Edwards is great.
Yeah, and those interceptions, I can't believe they won that game.
Lamar, look, man, I love black quarterbacks, and I root for every last one of them. But Lamar and
tread lightly, my brother.
Lamar and Cam are cut from the same cloth. They cannot throw the ball. Like Lamar, if you looked at the game last night, every time Lamar threw the ball, like outside the numbers,
It was
terrible.
like high school football.
Look, and I like Casby saying I'm a hater. I'm like, dude, I'm really rooting for this dude to succeed. But Lamar can't throw the ball. Lamar can't throw the ball. And if Mark Andrews isn't screaming wide open up the seam or on the post, or Hollywood Brown isn't running the post
Wide open.
yo, he's not getting them the ball.
Okay. So it's going to be very interesting. Week 13, we got some nice matchups. We got Chargers at Bengals. We have, Washington, Vegas can be a solid game. You got Baltimore at Pittsburgh. Niners at Seattle. It's a divisional games, always good. And then you finish with Sunday night, Denver at Kansas City. Then Monday night is going to tell me a lot about New England and Buffalo because New England travels to Buffalo on a hell of a Monday night game. So I can't wait for that, man. A lot of great football to come. The college football season is coming to an end. You have the SEC championship this week, Alabama, Georgia, the Big Ten, Michigan. Michigan finally got that win. Much love to that team. They were so excited. I was excited because I want to see new teams in the college football playoffs. And hopefully Georgia take care of business so it can be for sure with that. And Michigan do their thing. But, man, we thank you guys so much for tuning in to Courtside Radio. Remember, we are back at you Thursday with another fierce, great show. So I hope you guys tap in. Tell your mama, your daddy, your auntie, your uncles, your cousins, your friends, your dogs, cats, everybody that Courtside Radio is live. And any final words for the people, guys, before we get up out of here? What you got, Mike?
I got, you know what? You can't defeat your demons if you're still enjoying their company. Always remember that.
Okay, that's a gem. What you got for the people, E?
Hey, man. Love those that love you, man. Go on in and take the time to, tell your mom, your brother, your sister, your kids, your lady, your dude, if that's how you rock, that you just appreciate them, that you love them. So, none of us are guaranteed tomorrow. Value today. And that's it.
Hey, J. Cole said it best, man. Love yours. And, don't leave here in a regret-filled coffin, man. Much love to you guys for tapping in. Courtside Radio, we're going to get out of here on this game, man. Happy birthday to that, man. One more time. One of my favorite tracks from him. Timbo, you are a brilliant
beast.
So we out of here, man. Y'all have a good one.
Yes, sir.
All love, baby.
YouTube, we see you. YouTube, what's the deal? YouTube, yeah. Hey, YouTube, man, we thank y'all for tapping in. Courtside Radio, y'all know what it is. Going out to this banger. Peace. We out of here, man. Much love to you.